Hello and welcome to the Oracle of the Divine Ophite. I have a channeled message here today from the primordial Tiamat, the Serpent Mother. And it looks like you're fighting with someone. There's a masculine influence in your life, and this person doesn't have to be an actual male or female. This person could be a female as well, but the energy that they're acting in is very masculine, so they're showing up as a masculine energy. And they're basically fighting with you about everything. They're fighting you on every level of existence. This could be a lover or spouse. It's looking more like someone that is in a romantic relationship with you, but it could also be a family member. Take it how it resonates. And this person is just constantly fighting with you, not necessarily in a physical way, although it could be physical as well. There could be some level of physical abuse involved, but it looks more like it's a lot of mental fighting, a lot of fighting with just who you are as a person, your philosophical views, your understanding of the universe, your understanding of the world, how you want to do things, how you want to live your life on a daily level. And it's really interesting because you're treating this person in a very light way. You're actually approaching this fight with a very playful attitude. You're not really taking the person seriously because you're in this process of after feeling like, for a long time you didn't really know who you were. You didn't really know what you really wanted your life to be about, and you were just kind of following this person's lead and just doing basically all the things that they wanted to do and kind of living life in their style instead of living life in your style, because you didn't really know what your style was, because you've been very used to just adapting to your partners and your family. It's been a pattern for you. So you've finally broken out of that pattern, and this person is kind of feeling like all of a sudden they don't really know who you are. They don't really know how to adjust to what seems like the new you, which is actually not a new you. It's just who you've always been. But because you were adapting to who they were and adapting to their style and their way of doing things, they thought that you were this particular person that was more similar to them. But now they're seeing that really you're not like them at all, and they're really feeling like they're kind of at a loss, and they're kind of on the outside looking in, so to speak, and they're kind of wondering, what's going on here, what's going on inside that person's mind. I really don't understand what's going on with them anymore. So they're responding to this in a very belligerent, very hostile, very kind of defensive and offensive way. And right now this person is just kind of like stuck, instead of just experiencing you as the new person, they're kind of all clogged up in their minds, and they're all stuck in their minds, and they don't quite know how to process things. So they're just really, really freaking out. This person is really freaking out. They don't quite know what's going on. So the hostility that's coming out, just keep in mind that if you just continue to be unresponsive to the hostility, just continue to kind of approach it in a playful way. Focus more on yourself, focus more on, what you're doing, and discovering more and more of who you are every day. The person will eventually be able to untangle their mind. Now, of course, if there is some physical or mental abuse going on, then that's a different story. That's a situation where I would never tell anybody exactly what to do in that situation, because I know everybody's situation is different. But if that is going on, I would suggest that you get some sort of help, get out of any abusive situation. It's not a good place for you to be. But and also, like I said, take this as it resonates. If this doesn't sound like you, then this reading is probably not for you. But if you're hearing anything familiar here, then this reading probably is for you. And I'm sure, there's probably something of value that you can take away from it. But anyway, if there isn't any, actual abuse going on, and you're just finding a lot of hostility and fighting and kind of going back and forth with this other person, just continue to approach it playfully, continue to have fun with it, continue to just kind of bring the tension down, so to speak, instead of escalating, and just focus on you, make yourself the main focus. One of the ways that you might need to do this is by practicing some alone time. Perhaps this person has had too much access to you in the past, and they're used to having massive access to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, or whatever the access is. So make yourself a bit less available. Make it so that your time is precious, because your time is precious and your company is precious. So when you need time to just be alone with you, and you need time to just be yourself and do the things that you like to do and engage in the activities that you like to engage in, make sure that you have time to do that. And if this person objects, oh well, they object. They'll get used to it. If the person really loves you, which I'm kind of seeing here, that there is some love, the feeling that I'm getting from these cards is that this is a long relationship. This is a relationship that didn't just pop up overnight, because these patterns had to develop over time. So I think it's just a situation where there was initially a lot of love and a lot of connection, a lot of understanding, a lot of true resonance in the relationship. But because of this pattern that you had of adapting to your partner, there was just this turn in the road where you just kind of started going down their road instead of demanding that you build a road together. And they just kind of went along with it because they have similar patterns in their background where, they're used to being the leader and kind of being the person who calls the shots in the relationship. So they just adapted to that role. So there is some sort of love or affection present that can be worked with, but in order to work out the relationship in the future and make it so that both partners are satisfied and fulfilled in the relationship, there need to be boundaries drawn, and there needs to be a distinct difference between who they are and who you are. And so what Spirit is saying at this point is that you should just continue on the path that you're currently on. It's going to be bumpy for a little bit because you have to adjust to this new way of doing things, and this other person also needs to adjust to this new way of doing things, and that's going to take some time. And so basically the best thing to do is to just go through the experience, just experience being on the path to self-knowledge, experience every moment, experience it in its fullness. Just go back to learning how to just enjoy the pleasure of being alive, the pleasure of existing, and start to understand what existence means for you as an individual. That's, the main message here is that individuality is key. This is a time when relationships of all kinds become less important in comparison or in relationship to the actual relationship that you have with yourself. And also I'm getting the message here. I'm kind of seeing that there's this picture of a future integration of aspects of self, which then it's kind of like a sparkling light that starts within the heart. So this is like the person's heart is in pieces, and the pieces are coming together and they're melding together, And then all of a sudden you can't see the cracks in the heart anymore. And so once all the cracks in the heart are gone, then there's this beautiful beaming light that just covers the entire heart and then comes out and starts, coming out of the person's body and just beaming out into the environment around them. And all of a sudden, they're just surrounded by people who are bathed in that light. So what I'm getting from that is that, once you find inner harmony, once you are completely sure of who you are, what you like, what you want, what you dislike, what you're not willing to tolerate, and you just have this fullness of knowledge of self, that will bring you an inner harmony. And once you have that inner harmony, that will start to reflect in the relationships that you have with the people around you. So you'll start to see that, people that you thought you could never get along with, people that you've been fighting with your entire life, possibly, all of a sudden you'll be getting along with them perfectly fine, because you'll just be resonating this inner harmony that other people can't help but latch onto and express back to you. The world is a mirror, and other people are mirrors of what's going on internally. So even this specific person, this masculine energy that you're having this, what seems like a war with right now, even this person will start to behave in a more harmonious way once you have more harmony and more cohesiveness within yourself and within your own heart. So I'm just going to draw one more card so I can get kind of an overall advice. Okay, yeah, so this is really kind of the gist of the reading. You really need some alone time. It might not be possible for you to just be alone all the time. Like I don't know what your personal situation is. You might not be able to just go run off somewhere and go into a cave in the mountains for 5 weeks, but any time that you can take for yourself during the day where you're just sitting alone and just being with yourself, and it doesn't matter if you're meditating or reading or just staring out the window looking at nothing, going for a walk, go to the supermarket by yourself, whatever you can manage to do, that's just all about you. Just do something that's all about you. And, don't make it about anyone else at all. Just make it about you. Just have some alone time, some hermiting time. And this is going to push you farther along in the process. And also it's going to send out the message to anyone around you that feels like they kind of have the right to your time, or they kind of, they have the right to impose their needs and their wants onto your time and your situations. This is going to send them the message that that is not in fact the case, and that your time is your time and your life is your life. So this would definitely be a time to practice that wise hermit mode of being. And as you can see, the hermit's holding that lantern. That lantern is the light that will guide you to yourself and guide you to true inner harmony. So, yes, I think I'm going to leave it there. And thank you for joining me. If any of this reading resonated with you, please like this video and please subscribe to my channel. It really, really helps, and helps the algorithm, helps my channel to grow, helps these messages to get out to other people. And also, if you feel like, there's someone else that might need this information, then share the video as well. That'd be great. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.